Hi everybody, welcome to this general playthrough for Pro and Expert Division. This is of course second tee for the Panhellenic Games tournament here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Please do remember to hit thumbs up on the video, it helps me out a lot here on YouTube, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. Totally free to do so. We are playing a full 9 of Parc to Paris original pin locations. Now, we have general wind directions here, however the wind strengths are the standard wind strengths, so bear in mind, as this is a strong winds modifier, you will need to tweak the setups shown and the adjustments. You might need more spin, you might need less spin, you might need considerably more adjustment, or you will need maybe to play with higher wind resistance balls. All of those things need to be taken into consideration. However, the routes and setups shown will still, of course, be valid. You will naturally need to tweak according to your club's balls and skill level as well. Timestamps in the video description down below. There is an expert specific video if you want something with slightly higher level clubs and a little bit more wind to take into consideration of, then check that one out as well. And bear in mind that these shots were created a while ago, so we'll have the old ball attribute levels as well. Good luck everybody, and here we go. 6 bars top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left. And we want to set up here with the extra mile 8 with the second bounce in the rough beyond the bunker that you can see there. Obviously, if you don't have extra mile 8, go with a driver which does give you 6 bars of topspin. You'll have more accuracy if you're using Thor's hammer or the Apocalypse. Max plus 10 is our adjustment on this one. Maximum distance, 10% elevation. Then we're just going to take a standard shot. No overpower, no curl, just a nice perfect ball. Bounces once on the fairway, second time into the rough, and then rolling out, and we're wanting to get into this shadow. Write down your drive distance here. And we're going to be using slider notes here, and here I'm going to go for the dunk. Obviously, if you don't want to do that, you can play with spin on the slope before the green with your wedge, but I do favour the dunk on this one. Here from a drive of 370, I'm going to play 9% slider minus 15 elevation. So 9% on the slider minus 15 elevation. Aim with the arrows at the back of the cup, max backspin. Then we are going to adjust. Note here I'm not pulling over the bullseye, I am pulling to the bullseye. Please make sure you do the same thing. If you pull over the bullseye, you may well hit the pin on this one, as it does give you an extra 0.1. As you can see, they're pulling to the bullseye with our slider adjustment. Here we go then, we are going to go for a rough bump here. This is from tournament. Obviously, we want to try and be aggressive in tournament play. Kingmaker ball and the sniper. No topspin, no backspin, but I'm going to go with just over 1 bar of side spin to the left. And then we're going to set up here, yellow ring, bullseye right in the middle of that patch of rough between the fairway and the sand. And the ball guide you will see here is just going to miss left of the cup. Do not aim at the cup, okay? A little bit to the left on this one. Adjustment here, maximum distance, 10% elevation. And we are then not going to do anything else. We don't need to push up or anything, even though we're just into the sand. This is all factored in as part of the setup. We just want to hit perfect with a nicely centered ball in the adjustment ring. Lands exactly where we want to and drops very nicely right at the pin for a beautiful hole-in-one on this par 3. Tricky par 5 here. You need distance and topspin off the tee, playing with a Kingmaker. You can use a Berserker as well, or a high power ball. But with my Apocalypse setting up at +0, their second bounce just over the rough line up ahead without your spin added. Then I'm adding 5.8 top spin, 2 bars, side spin to the left on this one. Safe eagle play, outside chance of an albatross. In a more generous tailwind angle, you can play further up the fairway in terms of the final position rather than landing position, play with top spin. Thor's hammer is good. And then get yourself a max backspin shot with the Guardian. There's a little funnel above top left of the green that trickles the ball back down nicely with a load of backspin. So that is an option for the Albatross. Max plus 10, and then we're going with left curl as shown, hitting perfect, bouncing just after the tree shadow and then rolling up this narrow fairway. And we want to get a drive distance really of around 360 to 370 yards if you have kind of an ungenerous wind angle as I did. Playing with the Cataclysm just to get safely on the green, and you can see there, second bounce, a good ring beyond the rough, no spin, and we're playing max plus 0. This is primarily just to get to green safely for your eagle. You could tweak it if you want, depending what wind angle you get in whatever scenario you're playing in. If it's tournament, especially, you might want to take a practice token or two, but we're bouncing very safely over there, clearing the rough and rolling onto the green, and then we're going to be putting for the eagle. Like I said, funnel top left of the green if you want to go more aggressively for an Albatross on this tricky par 5. Going to use a Kingmaker because I want to knock the wind down as much as possible, and I'm going with the Sniper. I do have level 10 here. You can play this with a Sniper level 9 as well, but nothing below that, otherwise you won't be able to find your landing position unless you use a power 4 ball. So with Sniper level 10 at plus 9 yards, top left of the yellow ring, touching the rough line. 1 bar backspin, 0.6 bars side spin to the left. You will see there the ball guide, once you've added spin, will be slightly short and left of the pin. That is because we do have a little bit of tailwind, obviously, which will help us along the way. Adjustment, max plus 15. Maximum numbers, 15% elevation. Do need a perfect ball here. Great left could be trouble. Great right, you're probably going to be safe, but great left, you are probably not going to be safe. So play at your own risk. If you don't fancy the rough bump, then obviously play a bounce-up shot. So as I said, crosswind on this one. And here I'm going to find my position with the quarterback, and that's because we've got no plus yardage with longer drivers. So I'm going to set up with the QB, half of the blue ring inside the rough on the right at plus 13. I then switch to the extra mile, or obviously you can go with Thor's Hammer or Apocalypse. 4.5 top spin is what I'm using here, 2 bars side spin to the right with the Titan. You can use a little bit more top spin, but just wanted to demonstrate here, 4.5 is going to be absolutely fine. So if you only have extra mile 6 or 7, then you will be fine. Medium distance, 10% elevation is the adjustment. And then we are going to take our shot. As always, try and get a perfect ball and write down the yardage, because we can use yardage notes on this one. Top of the blue ring touching the rough, and then you're going to add spin, a little bit of top or back spin, and some left spin as required to get the ball guide as straight as you can to the hole. And we're going to use a very generous funnel here. So 329 on the drive is going to be just over medium distance plus 10% elevation. Here I play 56% on the slider. Pulling over the bullseye, and you will see here I do actually catch a minor great right. However, the funnel is my friend in this instance. Great balls to the right can and will in a lot of instances drop because the funnel is actually very generous. Perfect ball would also have dropped there as well. So here's the drive then. I'm going with the Titan ball here. If you don't want to use as much overpower or you want to reduce that, then go with a Kingmaker. 4.5 top spin is fine, but if you have more available, then please do play with a little bit more. I would really suggest 5.5 or 6 bars of top spin in this instance. If you are playing 4.5, then you might want to go with a Kingmaker as well, so you have less wind to deal with. So there's our setup point there, plus 5 with the red ring on extra mile 8, that will be plus 7 with extra mile 6 or 7. Max plus 10 is the adjustment. We do go slightly into overpower. I would suggest adding a little bit on to whatever you adjust into, at least 1 ring, otherwise you don't want to fall short, especially if you are only playing with 4.5 top spin. Little bit of curl to the left, and this one bounces, clears the bunker nicely, and then rolls along the fairway. We're looking for somewhere around 350 yards on this one. And here I'm just going to play with backspin and right spin. I have tried a rough bump, but not with any consistency in this wind angle, so I'm just going to bounce over instead. 4.5 backspin, 2 right spin. There you could see I'm checking club distance by looking at plus yardage using the tree trunk as a reference, so that might work for you if you want to spend a few tokens to dial this one in. Here I play in between medium and maximum distance with 10% elevation. This is an outside chance for an albatross. First thing to do really primarily is of course to secure the eagle. Perfect ball, and this one will bounce with the backspin and take the slope on the green. We want to try and bring this into the pin. A little bit high on that one, but definitely worth a tweak on this par 5. As you can see here, we do have tailwind, but if you don't have APOC level 4 plus, then this is the approach for you. Blue ring touching the sand and the rough at the same time, so kind of box it in, and then go with 3.5 bars backspin, 3 bars side spin to the right. And then we are going to adjust, and the adjustment here is mid plus 10. Medium distance, 10% elevation. We do hit a minor great ball here, however this is not going to affect the shots at all. Still going to be absolutely fine playing with the quarterback, so it's a very accurate club. And then we're just rolling around here up to the final shadow. Going to play with the grizzly here, just having a little look at where I am in club distance. And as always, it's all about trial and error, trying to find an adjustment that works here. And thankfully, first time lucky, we got a great shot here. So 2 backspin, 1 left spin. Because we do have tailwind, I am leaving the ball guide a little bit short with the grizzly. So ball guide a little bit short here. And the adjustment I'm doing here is exactly in between medium and maximum distance. And I'm playing with 30% elevation. Do need a lot of elevation on this shot, especially if you have level crosswind, you need even more. But it's 30 elevation with this wind angle. If you're using a slider, that is of course 75%. If you're not familiar with club range and using the slider, please check out the Academy tutorial playlist on the channel homepage. Par 3 now, and we've got pretty much direct headwind, only a hint of crosswind on this one. I like playing the bounce up with the sniper, and I'm looking here at the right side of the yellow ring touching the rough line, blue ring touching the bunker there. You can look at the ball guide before spin, but obviously you will need to vary your setup slightly with whatever wind angle you're dealing with. 2 bars of backspin, 1.5 bars of left spin. And you see there, I'm purposely leaving the tip of the ball guide beyond the pin, about 2 green squares. That's because the headwind will actually compress the flight of the ball. If you've got tailwind, you would leave the tip of the ball guide a little bit short, and crosswind, you have the tip of the ball guide level with the hole and offset either left or right according to the wind direction you have. Mid plus 0 is the adjustment here. We don't need too much in this wind angle, bouncing very nicely. Great right though, may risk the rough. Just needed a few clicks of left curl to get that one to drop in this wind angle on this par 3. Alright, for the drive, as this is from tournament and we do have some tailwind, I can use the rock. 1/2 bar of topspin, 2 bars side spin to the left. With the rock level 7, I'm at max distance and the red ring is touching the rough on the left. Obviously, if you have higher level rock, you will be setting up at a different plus yardage because you will have more power available. So just make sure you make the necessary tweak. Max plus 10 is the adjustment on this one, and then we are going to play with a little bit of curl to the left. You see the left edge of the ball just touching the outside wall of the adjustment ring to the left. Perfect ball away, and we like in the rock here because it is a very accurate club and gives us a good ball guide as well, which means we can push the drive to the corner of this fairway without too much risk. Second shot here, if you do have a high level horizon, you can play in between the trees as I'm trying there, but don't have the club for it on this account. So in the end, obviously if you do want to go that route, we'll give you a shot at the albatross, but it's still very difficult. But in the end I play between the trees here, more to the left where the big gap is. 6 top spin, 2 right spin. If you have a little bit more top spin, then you can definitely use that because then you won't need to push up as much. But just stretch out and see if you do need to push up. Make sure the ball guide is going to be clearing the rough after the second bounce. So pushing up a little bit here, and then the adjustment is max plus 10, and I'm going with a bit of curl to the right, half a ball. If you want to push the curl a bit further, then you can do. It's up to you. Obviously, don't go too much, otherwise you may clip the tree. But here, we're just going to play for the eagle. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.